What's up, everybody? Hit that like button on the way in. I am here. Oh, 10 minutes late. Just a little bit late. Just a little bit late. I'm sorry. Um, Yesterday I was supposed to go live and there was some real bad thunderstorms out here. So I was like, you know what? The internet kept chopping in and out, and I felt like it might you might have heard some thunder just now too. I felt like it might have made more sense to go live today because I thought that maybe if we start going in and out and whatever, it's going to be a problem. So let me send this link out to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Hit the like button on the way in. Today I want to talk about some of the issues that's affecting CARICOM. That's what the dial-in is for. Let me actually connect the phone so that people can call in. You have to call in via WhatsApp because, as you know, I had to cut the direct calls to come in because what was happening was people are just calling my phone 24 hours a day. It's insane. I'm like, look, I got to get this situation under control. So I took the actual number offline, but the WhatsApp is still online. So you can WhatsApp me. I don't know how that's going to go going forward, but let me try to connect here now. So let's see. Roadcaster Pro 2. All right, so let me send this link out. Been having some issues on Facebook too. Everything's going wrong. You know how it is. But we just got to keep pushing through. I want to be going live, like I said, 3 to 4 times a week. That's ideal for me right now, I think. So let's try to get this sent out. Today was a very interesting day because there was hi Melinda, hey Roja. Today was a very interesting day because Massacre's album numbers came out and stuff like that. I decided that I'm not going to really touch on that because I feel like that might be very argumentative and I don't want to go there today. So I just said, let me just pass that. So let me send this out. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? Click the like button on the way in. Hit the like button on the way in. All right. We're gonna be going ready, getting people up. So looks like there's an issue on the Facebook side. Anyhow, I'm not dealing with that today. I'll just put up a link saying that everybody needs to come over here. But yeah, so people, I was gonna go live yesterday, but then there was like thunderstorms and everything. So then I just said, like, yeah, I'm gonna just go live today so that I don't have the interruptions and stuff like that. My allergies are really bad today too. Really, really bad. The worst that they've been in a long time. Why does my eye look like I got punched in it? Jeez. Yeah. So drop a like on the video on the way in. So let me talk quickly about the drama and the problem and the stress that I've been having with just going forward as a Caribbean blogger. I've been thinking about quitting, been thinking about revamping, and thinking about a whole bunch of different things. And I had to kind of get to this conclusion about what I'm going to do going forward. And going forward, I think things are going to be a lot better for us because my problem before was that I foolishly decided that I was going to become a Caribbean blogger. If I really and truly want to be honest, and I could go back through the hands of time, turn back the hands of time, I would have never done this, right? I would have never done this. This was a very bad idea. And the reason I say that is because I'm a fairly optimistic person when it comes to things. So I figured, like, you know what? When we start trying to unite the Caribbean, it's all going to work out. We're all going to be happy. We're going to go forward. We're going to get our sex registry. We're going to get our rape registry. We're going to get all these things. And I foolishly did not let me send this link out here. I foolishly didn't consider some other things. And I felt like this was just going to be easy. All it was going to take is some coordination, getting things together, and then we were going to be able to just move forward, save the Caribbean, and then try to just catch up and be fine and be great and be wonderful. And then I kind of realized we're really, really not where I thought we were. So I kind of thought, for some strange reason, that we were in a more united type of mindset and mind frame than we're in now. I genuinely thought that we would have been, I guess, a lot closer to moving forward as a unit than we really are. I overestimated our love for one another. That's basically what I can say. And I didn't know it was this bad, right? Like I honestly thought that we would just have some conversations, get past whatever grievances that we have, and move forward. I did not know we were in the situation that we are in, and I didn't think it was that bad. So let's just be kind of frank, because I just don't know what else to say. I didn't know that a lot of Jamaicans hated us this badly. Blogging made me realize that, like, a lot of Jamaicans do not like small island people. Like, not that they don't like them, but they hate them. Like, they do not even see us as human beings. They view us as lesser thans, insignificant, and these things. And that put me in a very awkward position. Being black and being in Canada, drop a like on the video, please. Being black and being in Canada, you would think that I've experienced a lot of racism from white men and this, that, and whatever. In all actuality, I haven't. I haven't really had a lot of racial experiences as a black woman in Canada, and especially being a dark-skinned woman in Canada. As an adult, I got the education that I needed. Hey Lalabella, I'm gonna get you to call in soon too. I got the education that I needed. I just felt like getting the education that you need, because when I was young, I felt like I would always hear black people saying stuff like the white man, the white man, the white man. But then when you go and you start to find out, hey Christina, information about this white man, you would find out that these people don't actually have an education. They didn't actually graduate high school, right? So you're always hearing about the complaints about the system, but then people weren't exactly taking the steps and the initiatives that they needed to take to battle the system. And my dad always told me, like, education is the number one way to battle the system. So for me, I felt like getting an education was important, and making sure that I know what I'm talking about at all times is very, very important. Thanks, Christina. So education was something for me that kind of, not to say it in a way to be like bragging, but it came easy to me. Like, I got academic scholarship, you know what I mean? I went to university, I have 3 degrees, like all of that stuff, right? So I got all the degree stuff underneath my belt. And working in IT for 17 years. Is it that long? Somewhere. Anyhow, being in IT and then having a Latin and Caribbean studies degree just made me want to help the Caribbean more and put myself in a situation where I could help. Plus, I used to always get frustrated when I would turn on Channel 4 and I would see like Mandarin and Cantonese. And then the one time I got to see Caribbean culture on TV was when I would see Caribana, right? And it would just bother me that, like, the news anchor would be down there eating a hot dog and drinking like a banana solo or a banana ting, whatever, and then being like, yeah, man, I'm at that parade, man, and you know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, you're talking with a Jamaican accent. Caribana's not even Jamaican. What are we doing? Right? So I felt like we needed Caribbean representation, and I didn't know how to do that. I didn't understand what steps to take to make that happen, but I just knew that that's what I wanted. I wanted to see my culture on television. I wanted to see all of us, not just Barbados, being promoted in a positive light for the things that we actually do have going well for us. So I thought about going to school at the point in time, and I would have to go and do journalism. And then what would have happened if I had to do journalism was I would have to go to school for 4 years. Then I was going to have to intern at TSN and all whatever and these things. And because I couldn't do that program part-time, I wasn't able to like leave my 9 to 5 to pursue journalism full-time and then work part-time. I wasn't able to do that. So I had to give up on that. What ended up happening is I do a video one day, I blow up, and then I now have this audience. I could have just gone forward and just been a comedian and been like, let me tell you about your mother. When your mother, you ever see when your mother does go and wipe down this thing with lime call? And like, I could have done all of that, right? But one of the things that I noticed when I first started was how much people kept coming to me for information. And on a consistent basis, even to this day, the amount of people that continuously come to me looking for information about, like people will tell me like, oh, I'm a white woman in the UK, but my great grandfather was from St. Vincent, and when I Google St. Vincent, you came up. So I'm like, that's the kind of stuff I get all day, every single day. People just across the Caribbean wanting information. So I was just like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna share my popularity comedianness with the Caribbean, right? So then I can just do my comedy stuff, and then I could kind of just do the Caribbean stuff, and then I could kind of just split it down the middle, like, right? Split in the middle, right? So that was what I thought originally, but I immediately got met with like Jamaican hate, right? And I'm not saying that all Jamaicans hate me. I do have a very large Jamaican fan base, right? But my largest hate group is Jamaicans. My largest support group is not Jamaicans. My largest support group outside of the US, Canada, and the UK is Trinidad and Tobago. So I started to run into hate. Drop a like on the video, guys, please. And it wasn't the normal kind of hate that I would or anyone else gets. It was this real degrading, disrespectful hate. Like, you loser, you're from Barbados, the only island that the Caribbean people that care about from the Caribbean is Jamaica. We are the most popular. You are envious of us. You don't like us. We're the best. You're a loser. You're insignificant. Like, I started to deal with that type of stuff, right? And hi Riri. And that was hard for me to deal with because I'm never really ever in life been in a position to take punches from people. Like, I've been in a position where if you punch me, I knock you the fuck out and then we go on from here, right? Like, I have never been in a situation where I have to continuously be degraded by people. And then it's like, oh, Babbzy collected money for, Sharice White that was murdered in Barbados. And then they sent money to her mother, and Babbzy tracked her mother down in Jamaica and gave her the money. Like, I was on vacation. I could have been fornicating and drinking Red Stripe, right? Not that I drink alcohol, but you know what I mean. And to be met with Jamaicans cussing me and saying like, oh, yo, you give money to gal with Ghana, Barbados for sell pussy, right? Like, so it was just like, over and over and over and over and over and over again. I just kept dealing with the constant disrespect. Bless 887, what's up? And I started to not want to do this anymore because I just felt like, okay, what do? I want to move the advanced conversations for the Caribbean forward, but I can't move forward by being punched by a lot of these Jamaicans all the time. So in 2021, I took Jamaican content off of my platform where I removed Jamaican news, period. This came as a result of what happened with Latoya Alcindor, right? A Toronto woman that was murdered in Jamaica, and Jamaica tried to hush this murder. And basically, her cousins went to elementary school with me. So when I found out about it, I'm going to do the Babbzy advocating thing. And then I got really dragged for that. Like, it was just like, I'm an informer. I'm trying to make Jamaica look bad. Rah. And in my mind, I don't care because I'm like, a woman died and we want answers, okay? I don't care about how you feel right now about your blind patriotism. We want answers about what happened to this woman. That's what we're here for. This is someone's child. This is someone's mother. They were murdered while on vacation. And we want answers. So I had to stand up in front for that because like Latoya's family couldn't take those blows, right? They just lost their mom, lost their sister, their aunt, and Jamaicans are blasting. Oh, she came down here and she was selling pussy. And what? This is a businesswoman. What do you mean she was selling pussy? She was in Runaway Bay. Then they started coordinating attacks against her. They were like, didn't we see her on Back Road in Portmore a night selling pum pum? And they were like, yeah, I know a guy that bought pussy from lies. And for me, I have a kind of a strong kind of a lie detector kind of balance thing that I work with. This is someone's death. This is important. This is serious. Back off now. Right? We're not talking about who's sleeping with who man, who's matey, who's wifey. Do not tell lies on somebody who lost their life because they were murdered by some weirdo man. And you're trying to like make her look like she was the culprit and deserved to die. And I did not like that. And when it comes to me, when you rub my moral fiber wrong, I can't function anymore. So that was what made me remove Jamaican News off of my platform. I was like, listen, if they kill each other, blow up each other, bomb each other, we're not talking about it. I'm not saying nothing. We're not getting involved. But I realized that this didn't make them go away. This did not make them stop. So now I'm like, well, what are they still angry about? Right? And I've come to the conclusion, really, after starting this in 2015, so this is year 11 going on to year 12, these people are mad at my existence. All this time, for the last decade, I've been trying to find a resolution to a problem that's not a real problem. Right? Like I was trying to find a resolution to how do we move the Caribbean content forward and then stop making Jamaicans angry online? Like how do we find a middle ground for this? And then I just said, these people are not looking for a middle ground, Babbzy. They just don't want you here. Like they've identified you as the enemy and they don't want you here. So now it's like, so then what do I do now? Right? So that's why you've seen me roll the stats back out. And what you've seen me do is stand down in my stats. And I'm not defending my stats. I'm not arguing my stats. I'm not fighting with anybody about them anymore. Right? 2 years ago, when you seen the travel advisory post go up, and everybody's just like, you're just telling them about Grenada because I would have taken it down to avoid argument. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just putting up the information and I'm like, look, this is the travel advisory for the US. If you have a problem, contact the US. Where before I was more concerned about, Grenada is number 2 on the travel advisory and they're going to feel bad about it. So let me just take it down. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Kid Chronic, big up yourself. What's up? I said, I'm not doing that anymore. Right? I need to put the facts out. The region needs the facts. Whoever wants the facts, come see me. If you want narratives, go see somebody else. And I just stood firm in my convictions. I'm just like, these are official stats that have been tabulated from whatever source, whatever's the World Health Organization, whoever. I'm not modifying any more behavior for anybody in the Caribbean anymore. I'm not doing it. Drop a like on the video, people, please. I'm just going to blog. And whoever rides with me, rides with me. Whoever doesn't. And it's funny that he's here now. Kid Chronic kind of was the one to kind of get me to be like, these people are going to talk about you whenever they feel like, Babbzy. You have got to get to a place where you can just deal with that. And I'm like, I don't want no little young nigga telling me what to do. Kid Chronic? What you mean? Huh? Anyhow, I took his advice, unbeknownst to him till now. And I just started to say, what would Candace Owens do? What does like Tucker Carlson do? What does, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do these bigger entities do? Right? Because every time certain comparisons come up, like we need to rep the Caribbean. We need somebody, right? And the hate that comes from the Jamaican side all the time, I've just learned now to ignore it. So one of the things that I refuse to do now is engage in it. So then you might have noticed on the page, you'll see these comments like, Jamaica, I go mad, uno just grudge we on this, that, and I just don't answer it. Where before I would have been like, suck your ass, or you fucking dog, can't rat. Like, that's what I would have said before, right? But now I'm just like, just let them talk. Don't say nothing. Just put the stats up. Don't say nothing about it, right? So that's kind of where I am. Now, the realization is this. Jamaica is a part of the Caribbean, right? Grenada to a lesser extent, because I do have problems with them, but theirs are less prominent because they're not as big as a popular of a nation as Jamaica is. So their hate is not as big and aggressive as Jamaica's. You know, I just said to myself, look, how the hell do we talk about CARICOM, and when Jamaica does something like Andrew Holness, Edmund Bartlett, that impacts the region and impacts the Caribbean, I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's about Jamaica. Oh, no, I was pressed about Jamaica. No, you just let the U.S. military come onto your island. Do you understand the geopolitical ramifications of this? You're right beside Cuba. China owns your port. Mexico runs your airports. This is a very stupid move for you to do. This is a very stupid move for you to do. See, it's funny how Trinidad and Guyana did the most when it comes to recent disunity. We've talked about that. You're never there for those conversations. You are never, as a Jamaican, there for those conversations. Those conversations happen, but you get up and lie and make it seem like they don't happen when they do. They happen every single day. When Kamala and Irfan Ali went to the UN conference with Donald Trump, we took photos. We had photos posted. We dragged them for that. But you're not there for those conversations because you don't care about that. You only care when your country name is called. And then when your country name is called, you run around and you tell people that all we do is talk about your country when that is a lie. We talk about every single country. When St. Kitts turned around and said they're not taking Haitian refugees from America, they'll take people from any other country, we were the first to report that. We were the first to report when Irfan Ali did moves to align with Donald Trump. We were the first to report that, Kamala. These posts are about confirmation of predictions that I made earlier in the year when you same Jamaicans came and cussed me and said that men like Jamaica, this and that and whatever. And I said that Andrew Holness is a wimp and he's going to align with the U.S. That is what this is about. This is not about Jamaica and this, that. It's about me coming and saying to you, based on the factual information that's been presented, that Andrew Holness is going to fold and align with America. You guys jump me for that and talk about how you're the most righteous nation in the region. So now when you sign an agreement with the U.S. military, I'm saying to you, here is the evidence once again to back that Andrew Holness is a wimp and a coward and will fold to America. We looked at the fact that Andrew Holness went to Israel and fraternized with Benjamin Netanyahu, who has Palestinians locked off in the Gaza and in the West Bank and killing them by the thousands every single day. Andrew Holness should not have been down there fraternizing. But because you guys have this mentality like it's all about us, who cares about anybody else, when you get attacked, you're going to have no one in your corner because of what you're doing. Your geopolitical moves make no sense. And you're not going to have backative. You have no army. If China opens their prisons and send every prisoner in their country, 1 billion plus people, to go and fight Jamaicans off the land, who's coming to save you? We not, because we ain't shit. You're going to be on your own with that. You're creating a disaster from a geopolitical perspective. China owns your port. Why would you let U.S. military on your island? That does not make logical sense. Take Jamaica out of it. It could be Cuba. It could be Uganda. It does not make sense for someone to have China owning their port and allowing U.S. military troops to be on the ground for them to be able to maneuver and do as they please. That makes no logical sense from a defense standpoint. And Mexico owns your airports and runs your airports. Jamaica owns the land the airports are on, right? So what we're saying is you're allowing the U.S. military to be in Jamaica and they're in close proximity to Cuba. This is a problem for our region, but you don't understand that language. So this is why you'll be like, suck your mother, Jamaica we say, because you cannot understand what I'm talking about. You are in close proximity to other nations, right, that are at conflict with America. So why would you let them on your soil to set up shop and be a part of the military? This has nothing to do with your nationality. This has to do with stupid moves geopolitically to get finance in your palm grease a little bit. This is a conversation too big for you. You can't have this conversation. So you need to chill and you need to let the person with the facts handle the conversation. That's you guys' problem. You're just running your mouth. This is not the 4x100 relay. Jamaica, we say. This is about serious implications and ramifications for your own people while your leader makes atrocious decisions that are going to impact you and the region long term. This is not for you. You need to go find out if World Dog and Yanni got back together. That's your speed. This is not your conversation. Okay? So that's why they want somebody here that can tell people the truth of what's happening. But you have it in your mind that nobody's supposed to say nothing about Jamaica. And I'm telling you that this move here impacts our region. This is a very stupid move made by Andrew Holness. We talk about the moves that Kamala has made. We talk about the moves that Irfan Ali has made. We have always talked about the stupid moves that leaders make and they don't think about the long-term goal. So just because I come from a small island does not make it exempt from me for being allowed to come forward and speak on the facts. Andrew is a fucking wimp. But so many prime ministers did damage before him. That's true. I agree with that. There's all a conspiracy. We own our airports. Mexican company only holds contract to run them. No. So I just said that. Rico Don. I just said you own the land your airport is on. But the operations is owned by Mexico. They're not contracted to do that. They run your airport. You have a port in Kingston, in Jamaica, that is owned by the Chinese. The land that the port is on is owned by Jamaica. The infrastructure is owned by China. This means they have control of the port. What that means is if they want to send in 5 million prisoners to invade Jamaica tomorrow, they can put them on boats and send them and can do that. And you can't stop them because they have the access to do this. This is not a conspiracy. This is a fact. They control the port of entry. You own the land, they control it. What's the difference? We already clarified that. Massacre numbers is on another page. You can go over there. So that's the thing about the region, right? So it's like, for me, I feel like CARICOM, we should have conversations about dissolving it because I kind of feel like it doesn't make sense uniting with the people that don't like us. It doesn't make sense with uniting with people that don't have the same vision. So some of us have a vision of, unity, shared information, progressing and moving forward, while some of us have a ideology of it's all of us, we don't need you, and this, that, whatever. Let me just be frank. Nobody needs nobody, right? So like Barbados, they don't need Jamaica just as much as Jamaica doesn't need them. There's some belief that Jamaica's holding up all these countries. You're being lied to. That's the conspiracy. Most of these nations you're looking down on, they're actually doing better than Jamaica. Like Jamaica's dollar depreciated 99.9% since independence. That's insanity. It depreciated 99.9% since independence. Come on, right? Jamaica has the lowest literacy rate in the English-speaking Caribbean. Jamaica has the worst educational system in the English speaking Caribbean. Jamaica has the worst healthcare system in the English speaking Caribbean. So let's see if I can take this call. Hold on. Hello, good afternoon. Hold on, I'm not hearing anything. Let me try this again. One second. Say something now. I'm not hearing anything. Not hearing anything. Try calling back. Right? So when you try to do that type of stuff where you're saying you're better than, you don't have any evidence to back that. Hold on. Try this again. Yeah, you don't have any evidence to back that. When you start looking at healthcare, education, like all you keep talking about is Usain Bolt winning gold medals. Right? And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. We don't care about gold medals every 4 years, and Usain Bolt is retired. So we're saying like we can't just do this nonsense all the time where it's just like Sakuna Mada and Uno graduate. Is it connecting? Let me try it again. So that's kind of where I am with the situation. It's like, look, man, I can't do this type of conversation. I don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know how to do this nonsense. It's like we need to move forward, and we need to do the things that we have to do to move forward. And we need to be in a position where we're at least thinking about moving forward with people that like us. Because it's very obvious that these people see themselves, a lot of them, not all Jamaicans, right? Especially the ones that travel. The ones that travel have kind of been a lot more understanding of what's going on out here. But the ones that haven't, okay, let's see this now. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Babbzy. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sweetheart. How you doing?
Uh, perfect. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for coming back on the air. We love to hear about these geopolitics. You know what I
Okay.
mean? We love to hear about everything that's going on around the region. So I want to thank you so much for, you know,
Thank
popping
you.
back up and blessing us with your presence. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Um, I'm hearing you talking about, everything that's going on, and I just want to say something as a Jamaican.
Yeah.
I want every Jamaican that's listening to understand that at one point, the Jamaican dollar was more than the US dollar.
Yeah.
Okay, I want y'all to understand this. Like our Jamaican dollar was stronger, and we took program from the US and somehow did a whole speech about becoming a blue state. You know what I mean? A blue state, a democratic state at that. Um, and what happened is we started moving more like the US and investors they them lift up and them cut and greedy politicians they talk them start take for them look a piece and then the country just went downhill.
Correct.
Now what kind of brought us back before this whole new age call center thing and everything? It was the Chinese. As much as how a lot of people like to complain, people who don't know anything like to complain. The Chinese brought us back. The Chinese stayed, they invest, they gave regular 9 to 5ers jobs, which stimulated the economy and kept us afloat for a very long time.
Agree.
Now, with everything that's going on right now, I would like to say that there's a kind of slippery slope and a double-edged sword, if you would like to put it that way. um Andrew Holness right now is in the crossfire with everything that's going on, you know what I mean? But the thing about that is it's like a ripple effect, you know what I mean? So many ministers before him did so much damage, whereas like they try to play this boaty thing and try to play this small, oh, I'm a small insignificant island, so I'm not going to pick any side right now. Where fast forward, they had to start picking sides, and they turned their backs on the people that actually was there when no one else was. When America was burning down the herb fields and pressuring Jamaica in certain political aspects, right? Even with this LGBTQ, everything,
Right.
LMNP thing that went on just the other day, when they were pressuring us, right? What China was doing was the exact opposite. They were building our highways, building our bridges, right? Giving us loans on top of loans,
Correct.
probably even more. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
you're right.
More than the U.S.
Yeah.
Right? They were giving us so many stimulus packages more than the U.S. and more time to pay it off as well. You know, and what the US did was they painted China as a narco state, like they want to come and take over. No, I could see that point very clearly, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, Jamaica allowed themselves to be exposed like that. We could
Correct.
have been truly independent, you know what I mean? We're still, fucking being held by the UK, the heads of state and all that shit. You know, what I mean, we still need a governor general to connect us like a bridge, between us and the crown. You know what I mean? And then you have China on one side and now the US on one side is like a three-way tug of war thing
Right.
kind of going on.
Right.
So Jamaica allowed themselves to be in this position. We could have been truly independent if we had the balls and the backbone to really stand on our own and our trust our product
Yep.
that we had in the local sugar cane and the agriculture on the backside, especially the backside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Having our airports and all of that, and they sold out everything. So with all of that, I'm saying, I say all of that to say this. With every Jamaican that's listening, bro, trust me, you stand to learn something if you just throw away this ignorant persona and just listen. And if you listen and you don't like what you hear, try to do some research, man. You know what I mean? Try to do some research. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Where the hype is, where the golden goose or the golden egg of the islands, the Caribbean, if any way you want to put it. But yo, it's not about that. Right now, it's a very serious time in the world, and
Yeah.
what is happening is that Jamaica is getting caught in the middle.
Correct.
Right at this very moment, we're being caught in the middle. And when we get caught in the middle as a big part of the Caribbean, what happens is it sends alarms off every single where in every other Caribbean country.
That's exactly
Right?
it.
And that is what Babbzy is trying to bring to the forefront. So just shut up, guys, and just listen. Just pay attention. She has so much information. Sometimes when I listen to her, I marvel. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. And that is why I'm telling you, Babbzy, love the program. Please stick to it.
Yeah.
Do not go anywhere. I
Yeah.
myself, Kid Chronic,
I
is a
know.
proud listener. I
Mm-hmm.
love to learn new things, and you do that for me. You stimulate the brain, and we love that. All right.
So wait, quick
So
question
yeah,
before you go. Are me and you still in a
yeah.
relationship, and am I still financing you, or like what's going on between us? Like
Look here,
where are
man.
we
Look
at?
here.
What
Look here.
you have
Look
me you
here.
have I heard you have a new man will take me away from you named Naked Truth or something like that. What going on with us? What happened with me
Look
and
here,
you?
man.
Yeah.
Look here, man. You forever, my baby. That can't change. You know. Yeah, they might not hear it on the internet
I know, huh?
for years, but yeah, forever, my baby. And no
Yo,
boy
no.
can't take it from you. You know.
None. And certain big dates are coming up soon next month, so you know how that go. You know what I'm saying? All right, you know how it is.
1,000%, man, 1,000%.
Yeah,
And with their feet is me feel it
true,
fully endorsed, you know,
true,
in
true,
a real
true,
life. So
true.
everybody within the comment section right now, listen,
Yeah.
big up on yourself, you know the thing go. Nothing else
Yes.
like on the bingo.
And when you coming
Cool.
back? When you coming back? Before you go, quick.
You know what? The ups them they are listening, but here what? We are gonna say 0926. Yeah, 0926. That's the code. Believe.
All right.
Until next time,
Love you.
big up. A
Bye.
murder.
Right. So here's a picture of Andrew Holness. That's Kid Chronic, by the way. Down in Israel. Lean up on the people Obia wall, right? This is a huge problem for the Caribbean. So I know that a Jamaican person might look at this and be like, yeah, we can do what we want to do and we don't care. This makes our whole region look bad because, hey, Rambo, what's up? Because Jamaica's seen as the leader. This is a part of why we're distancing ourselves from you because of these types of moves. There's nothing wrong with having relations with Israel. But when you're the leader of a black nation and you go down to Israel that is engaging in the largest genocide of our time, and you do these type of photo ops, this makes us as a black region, dominantly black, we have Indians and all other races. This is a horrible picture. It's not because he's Jamaican that this can't get called out. This is ridiculous. Why would he do a photo like this? Why would he do that? He could have went to Israel, met with the prime minister, had conversations, and been like, hey, yeah, whatever. But he went to Israel and he went and did photo ops. You will never see a Jewish man wrap up his head like a Rastafarian. You will never see a Jewish man don or put on anything to do with any of our cultures. Under no circumstance. Right? This picture says I can be bought. Give me the right amount of money and I will be a circus clown. And when you're seen as the heart of the Caribbean and the most popular nation, when you do this, this makes us look bad. So when you see us like, bruh, bruh, understand where we're coming from. Just because you're Jamaican, it doesn't mean you can't be called out on bullshit. This is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. And I don't care who gets mad. I don't care who's JLP. I don't care about any of that. This is a stupid move for a leader in a free-thinking black nation to make. So these are the moves that you make that impact us as a region. Because when you do that, our silence seems like we're in agreement with this when we're not. So now we have to speak out and say, we don't agree with what Andrew Holness did. And now you get mad saying, oh, Jamaica are mad, oh no, and Jamaica, oh no, grudge. And no, we're saying, what the hell are you doing? Like, how did we get from Marcus Garvey to this cunt here? Show me the long division. Show me your work. You cannot be a black man and gone down to Israel from the Caribbean. I would expect Floyd Mayweather to do something like this here. But you're the leader of a black nation in the heart of the Caribbean. You cannot do stuff like this. And you have to think about your actions and how they impact our region. But because you've been conditioned to only see yourself, you're conditioned to think, well, it's just Jamaica and we don't care about the rest of you. Not all Jamaicans, but right? This is why it's so difficult for you when you get called out on something like this. You can't do stuff like this. Because Palestinians are equivalent to us. We were enslaved. We were locked off on land. We were pushed aside. So when you go down and show solidarity to Israel, right, and stand in Judaism, right, you're literally saying to the Arabs, screw you, right? Because you're not just going to Israel to visit. You're showing solidarity with Judaism. So Arabs are side-eyeing you now. Christians are side-eyeing you now. And you didn't think about that. You didn't think about how this is going to impact you long term. You didn't think about how that's going to impact us long term. Religiously, racially, ethnicity. That's not a real word. You know me, I'm just being Babbzy. But you didn't think about that. So this is why when people are trying to push someone like me out of the way, they're like, we need an alternative view from the regular Jamaican person who's not going to see things from our side because they're gonna see it as we can't do what we blood clot want to do, and nobody can't tell we nothing. You can't see that this is bad. And instead of trying to, Holly, I know it's ethically. I just I just do Beijing stuff at times. You know, Beijing's always jack up things. So ethnically, yes, Holly, don't worry, sweetheart. I'm gonna put you as Chief Human Resource Officer so that you can take care of all of our writing and stuff like that because I need help. So that's what we're talking about. So this is why, for me, I'm like, look, as a Caribbean blogger, what do? We have a nation that's just unruly, that doesn't want to ever have anybody say anything, a large number of them. They never want to be corrected. They never want to be called out. They never want nothing. So what do? Right? I'm being fought just for existing. Every time I come out, it's attack against Babbzy. Every time. So what do? Right? So that's why people are like, just keep pushing forward. Because tomorrow, a whole bunch of these clips are going to be circulating and it's going to be like, Babbzy said that Jamaican people dumb and Babbzy said this. And they're not going to take 30 seconds to go and see what it's about. They're just going to run and say, you know what? Cuss her, she from another country. She don't come from Jamaica. Oh, she small island. Oh, them, we not rate them on one bag of thing. And then it's just going to be nonsense. Total, utter nonsense. And for the longest time, I just got fed up of it. I just got fed up because I was just like, look, I cannot do this anymore. I just can't. But what I want to do right now is I want to break down what this SOFA agreement is in Jamaica so that we can all, as a region, understand what's happening here. All right? So let me give you this because I kind of scribbled this down earlier. If I could get it to bloody well, ting, ting, ting. All right. So what is SOFA? SOFA, SOFA, not what you sit down on. That's the agreement that they signed. So it's the Status of Forces Agreement, right? Now, that is essentially the legal rule book governing what happens when one's country's military personnel are physically present in another country. So it doesn't mean that America can invade Jamaica, but it doesn't automatically create a military base for the U.S. in Jamaica either. The Jamaica and U.S. announcement specifically describes like temporary presence for mutually agreed activities, including training exercises and joint operations. Officials also cite humanitarian assistance, disaster response, regional security, and cooperation against gun, drug, and human trafficking. Okay? So SOFA, what does it normally deal with? It deals with, this is where it gets kind of more interesting, and I'm going to give a breakdown. So SOFA typically establishes the legal status, privileges, and responsibilities of visiting military personnel. Depending on the particular agreement, that can include such things as criminal jurisdiction, civil claims, entry and exit requirements, carrying weapons, uniforms, vehicles, and licenses, customs and taxation, importation of equipment, and privileges or immunities. So do you kind of understand that because it deals with customs, taxation, and importation, that with China controlling a port, do you see the conflict of interest there now as a Jamaican person? Does that make sense to you, how this is a conflict of interest in a sense? Because now America has control over some of that same jurisdiction that China has control over. So do you see the problem there now? I was in the U.S. military, and that's how we were able to be stationed overseas. Okay, Holly, one day, actually, I'm going to try to see if I can add you on Facebook when I get off this, because I'm on a different program, so I'm not going to be able to add you, because I like smart people around me, so I'm going to keep you close. So do you kind of see how this could be a problem? Right? So someone brought this for me today, the slushy. I haven't had that slushy in like 3-4 years. This is so good. I feel like I'm gonna like I wasn't even gonna go live. I was just like, I'm just gonna drink this and sit down in my room and cry. But so let's tell you about what's going on with the Chinese situation and the port in Jamaica. So the Kingston Container Terminal, Kingston Freeport Terminal, KFTL, is operated under a 30-year concession running from 2016 to 2046. The underlying port remains Jamaican property, but this concession gives China the right to operate, develop, and maintain the terminal. So it's 51% owned by the French shipping giant, and it is 49% owned by China Merchants Port Holding, which is a company that is in China. I don't see Jamaica in the ownership there. 51% is to the CMA CGM from France. 49% is from China Port Holdings, China Merchants Port Holdings. So, this is not a conspiracy, people, of what's being discussed here. This is actual fact. Sorry. I know you guys might be like, Cartel's the biggest artist in the world, and you can find kind of fluff that off. You can't fluff off these kind of conversations. It's not going to happen. So, do you understand France and China owning a port and U.S. military being able to deal with certain aspects of what France and China are actually currently controlling? Do you not see how that could potentially be a conflict? Or is it that we're Lickle and Talawa? We just kind of insert that there. No wonder we can't keep guns from coming in, Rambo. Yes, SOFA isn't new, but the timing and the announcement was intentional. Tariq, Tulak, boy, we're going. Hey, I'm on a different system, so all of the comments are together. I know you, where Tariq, how you been? You didn't give me no birthday gift, boy. I vex with you. Use the intellect on my page, you know. You're supposed to come and give me $10 for my birthday, right? You got competition on Lalabella boat here. So and Rambo. But no, so that's kind of what I was saying. I'm like, I told you Jamaica's gonna start to make decisions that are gonna implicate CARICOM. I told you guys this because I know Andrew Holness. I know the lack of depth of his vision, right? Like when it's Mia Motley, I don't feel concerned because I know that she is righteous, right? I know Mia Motley in real life. She's righteous. Like Santia Bradshaw, I think everyone knows that's one of my BFFs, right? I know Santia before she went in politics. Santia is righteous. Santia was a Rasta, right? The only reason she's not Rasta now is because she had breast cancer and lost all of her hair. And then she kind of just never grew it back from that and just left it short because she was just up, like, you know, she lost her hair from breast cancer. And this is not confidential information. This is all public, right? She lost all of her hair when she had dreads, like really nice dreads too. And she lost them. There was one point where Santia was being compared to like Lisa Hannah beauty type of a thing, like beauty queen type stuff. But they're righteous people. They're people that are not gonna just be like, oh, the people in Palestine are being locked off into Gaza and killed every day. Well, like they're not like that. They have a problem with stuff like that, right? Like especially Mia Motley, she's very anti-war, like she's not a neocon. She's like the exact opposite. So she believes that the war between Palestine and Israel, or this fictitious war, whatever it is, cannot be solved through military means. It has to be resolved through mature adult dialogue, right? And not leveraging nonsensical reasons like God promised us Jews this land. Like, where? Can you show me the WhatsApp conversation? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Like, that's your reason for killing all these Palestinians? That God promised you the land? You know what I mean? And so it's like things like that. Wholeness bootleg Obama. My late uncle couldn't stand the man. Oh, no, but like you did, like they're righteous. Like Andrew's down there on the wall. He's like, "Where's the stale wine to drink? I'm a little thirsty. Give me something to drink. Where's the bread with no yeast in it that I could get something to eat?" Like, you're not gonna see a Mia Motley put a picture of with a kippah on her head in Israel. Like, that's not gonna. She's not doing that. Like, that's a like, as a black woman, like, she's not doing that. And not to say Judaism has something to do with race. It has to do with what is transpiring with the Palestinian people, right? So that's a big part of why I think personally it might make sense. Drop a like on the video on your way in, please. It might make sense for Jamaica to leave CARICOM, right? Not that I want that, but I believe that the goals of the Caribbean are not in line with the goals of Jamaica. I believe that the goals of Trinidad are in line with the goals of the Caribbean, but Kamala's goals are not aligned with the Caribbean. But I believe that Jamaica is aligned with Andrew Holness for the most part. I do believe that they probably would just rather not be compared to Caribbean people. They probably would just rather not have Caribbean people speak about them or give interpretations of what's happening. I think that Jamaica leaving CARICOM would be ideal, in all honesty, long term. I do believe that. Because I think the conversations about the criminal registry across the board, having a united healthcare system across the board, these types of conversations are more feasible without Jamaica involved, right? And that's because the goals are never going to be aligned from the Jamaican leaders with versus Caribbean leaders, right? Jamaican leaders are not focused on the people. They don't care about the people, right? Like, they see people in Jamaica as like line items on a spreadsheet, where the smaller islands, because they're smaller, the impacts of what they go through are more visible for leaders. So they're a little bit more concerned about the people because they're so close to the people, right? Like when Hurricane Melissa happened in Jamaica, Andrew Holness is in Kingston, and he's just like, don't be out in the streets fighting for aid. You know, that doesn't look good. And it's just like, yeah, you're in Kingston, Jamaica, in Parliament, in an air-conditioned building. Like, you are not sleeping under a tarpaulin over out in like St. Elizabeth, Black River somewhere, right? Like, you're not out there with the people, so it doesn't matter to you. You might take a little trip there one day and then come back, but then you're going back home to your air-conditioned home with security, right? You're not sleeping under the sun, moon, and stars. Where like when a hurricane hits in a place like CARICOM, or right, like a smaller island like Barbuda, Antigua, everyone is impacted. So the leaders are a lot more in tune with what's transpiring because they're closer to it. Like, Andrew didn't care nothing about Hurricane Melissa. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Kingston's fine. I don't care about the rest of them. Right? So it's like our views could never be aligned. Hey, Colette. Yes, Antigua. Our views could never be aligned because we don't have the same experience, right? And that was why I was talking before about the whole West Indies Federation. I was saying, look, I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because I feel like our future would have been doomed had it happened. So the reason why the West Indies Federation never happened is because Jamaica bailed out, right? They were just basically like, we want the most seats. We want the most control, and they were not in agreement to Port of Spain being the capital city. They wanted the capital city of the West Indies Federation to be Kingston, Jamaica. Now, for me, if I was alive back then, I know how unimportant the capital city is for a place, right? Like if you talk to the average person who's not from Canada and you tell them, name a city in Canada, what are they going to tell you? 99% is probably going to say Toronto, right? You might get the odd person say Montreal. You might get the odd person say Vancouver. But most people are going to tell you Toronto. Toronto is the most popular city in Canada, right? But Ottawa is the capital city of Canada. Most people don't even know Ottawa. They've never heard of it. But that's our capital city of Canada. It's Ottawa, right? In America, Washington, D.C. is the capital city of America. But most people know New York, right? Most people know Hollywood, Miami, right? They're not going to tell you, oh, name a city in America, and they're going to say Washington, D.C. They're going to say New York or Miami or Los Angeles, right? Like those are going to be the top ones. So the West Indies Federation having the capital city be Port of Spain, that being a reason for not wanting to be in the West Indies Federation, to me didn't make any sense, because it was just like, this is just like bragging rights kind of stuff. But why I said I felt like it was a good decision that it didn't happen was because of what Kid Chronic was just talking about earlier, like the bad mistakes and the decisions of the politicians prior, right, to where we are now, right? So the depreciated 99.9% dollar, right? If they were controlling us, our dollar would be weak, right? Their education system is like totally failed. If they were controlling us, we would have a bad education system. But we managed to get out and do well because they weren't in control, if that makes sense, right? And I'm basing that on just where they are today. Someone says, oh, Nanya Biz, wait, Camille, what's up, girl? Jamaica needs to be careful dealing with the current U.S. administration. Trump loves talking about turning different countries into U.S. territories. Not only just that, he has proven time and time and time again that he does not like us, right? Like he has made it clear he doesn't like our people. Oh yeah, but let me use your island to kind of station military people on. But I don't like you guys. Like, you have to have kind of an understanding and a backbone when it comes to certain things, right? 2, Donald Trump is drowning because of this whole situation to do with Iran, right? Like, okay, we went in Venezuela, took their leader, brought them back. Nobody could stop us. We want Venezuelan oil and we can't get it. Okay, so now what do we have to do? Well, we have to shut down the Strait of Hormuz because we need, like, so now it's like, you're just trying things. You don't have a strategy. You're just doing nonsense. So now you're like, okay, well, Israel wants Iran shut down. So we got to go fight Iran now. So I have not seen one dead soldier from Israel. All of the soldiers dying in this war between Iran and America are American soldiers. They have not shown one Israeli soldier with a coffin and the Israel flag draped over it. But every day you're seeing American soldiers coming back dead. And what's worse is a lot of them are black. A lot of them are people of color. So that's the saddest part about it, right? So now you're like, oh, we're going to go and fight Iran. And you can't fight Iran. It's not the same fight as Iraq or Afghanistan. So now you're in a situation where Iran's like, okay, we'll shut down the Strait of Hormuz. No one's going to get oil. No one's going to get anything. We're just going to just choke off everybody. So now it's like, well, we don't have Venezuelan oil. Guyana's oil isn't really ready. Cuba, we're trying to shut down because we tried, like, what are we doing? You're just acting immature and childish. Now we're back in this whole tariffs war with Canada. America and Canada are back in this whole terrorist war thing again, right? What are you fighting with Canada about, Donald Trump? So that's why the Caribbean has to be careful. Kamala has to be careful of the decisions that she makes because she's going to put herself in a situation where she's going to cause Trinidad. You see, if Keith Rowley was there for Trinidad, I would feel a little bit better because, and don't take this the wrong way, I love Keith. I like Keith Rowley, right? I think he did a very good job. I think it was very difficult for him to work with what he had, but he did what he could. Keith Rowley is a old whore, right? So Keith Rowley gonna be like, you want to come and put military people on the land here in Trinidad? Well, here what? Your friend with Elon Musk? We want 300 Cybertruck. Like if Keith Rowley had to make an agreement with Donald Trump, he gonna whore out Donald. Trinidad gonna get something out of that. But Kamala, let's just use the word naive. Kamala's a little bit naive to geopolitical strategy, if that makes sense, right? She's not as militant minded as a Keith Rowley is. And it's not because she's a woman. It's because she doesn't see things holistically, right? Lawyers versus an environmentalist biologist. I think Keith Rowley was like, you know what I mean? So Kamala, lawyers can be kind of very black and white. The law says X, so this is what it is. And then the law says Y, so this is what it is. Where somebody who's like in biology, environmental type stuff can see things a little bit more holistically. Like they understand why the piece of plastic on the ground is going to cause the caterpillar not to bloom in June. And right, like what they see things in more of a cycle and holistically, and how we all work together, where lawyers don't view things like that normally. They just kind of black and white. Like the law states the speed is 100 kilometers an hour. You were going 101.5, right? Like they're like that. They're very anal and weird kind of sometimes, right? And that's funny because Santi is a lawyer. Mia Motley's a lawyer, and they're my friends. But Santi didn't start off as being involved in that, so that's why she kind of still has the whole heart part about her, because lawyers tend to be like lost and confused on certain topics. Guyana. My issue with the Guyana and CARICOM. So I do believe the first people to leave CARICOM will be Trinidad. I do believe Kamala is gonna cut from CARICOM. I do believe that. Her behavior, like fighting with the secretary that was appointed, Carla Barnett, and her fighting with like certain extradition rules and stuff, she's just giving me this vibe of, I want to cause a problem and I'm going to be a problem. That's how I feel about Kamala. So I feel like Trinidad is going to end up leaving CARICOM first. The problem is the bulk of Trinidad's trade is from CARICOM, right? We have agreements to buy a certain amount from them, and I feel like if she leaves, that's going to jeopardize that for her. So I kind of think that Trinidad is going to be, I don't think Trinidadians want to split from the Caribbean in the bottom of my heart. I believe a lot of Jamaicans do, but I don't believe a lot of Trinidadians do. Guyanese, I think they don't care either which way. I think Guyanese people right now, a lot of them are being misled about this oil discovery. And I think that a lot of Guyanese people feel that this oil discovery is going to trickle down to them. It's not. You're not the rich elite. You're not getting anything from this oil situation. Like you're getting nothing from it. You will get work like as a low-level worker, but to think that like you're going to be in Bentleys and Rolls Royces like people in Dubai, like no. You're seeing people in like Saudi Arabia and those areas. Those people are the cream of the crop people. You're looking at those nations and you think like Guyana's gonna all turn into a nation like that. No, you're just gonna be the same that you are now. There's just gonna be a few more people that have a lot of money, but it's not going to be you. Like you're not going to get money from this. If you're not in that industry, you're not gonna make money. You might just get more work consistently in construction, right? You if you're a construction worker, you'll probably have a lot of work, right? But you're not going to benefit financially from this oil discovery, right? I wonder who benefits from CARICOM dissolving. um Truthfully, like I said before, none of us need each other, right? But it's good when you have each other. But no one needs each other. All of the nations have kind of shown that they're able to sustain themselves from a healthcare perspective, from an educational perspective, from an employment perspective. They've managed to keep their economies consistent throughout the years. They've managed to keep unemployment low. Um, their poverty is lowered every year. So I think Caribbean nations can survive on their own. I just think that when there's a problem like a war, that's when you'll see the difference, right? Because there's a huge difference when there's a war in the Caribbean and it's against, let's say, Antigua, and it's just Antigua fighting this war versus every single Caribbean nation stepping up and saying, yeah, we got your back, right? That's 45 million people versus what, 96,000 or whatever their population works out to be. So that's, I think, where CARICOM is important and for trade, but that's only for certain nations, right? Like, I don't think St. Vincent cares about trade, really and truly. Like, I don't think CARICOM dissolving is going to impact them in any way, or St. Lucia. Like, these countries are not going to be impacted by the dissolving of CARICOM, right? So, yeah, 95K, 96K. Yeah. Holly, girl, listen, I'm a little Caribbean encyclopedia when I'm ready, you know. But yeah, so I don't think that any country is gonna really be impacted financially, education wise, right? The concept of UE was a good idea to have a university, but again, that only affects a couple of countries, right? CARICOM, I think the CSME movement that Mia's kind of championing, which is the Caribbean Free Movement, that's important for the region because you do want to be able to kind of move between countries easily. And it's weird to me that it's cheaper for me to fly to Toronto from Barbados than fly to St. Lucia. I find that very weird that, like, I can't fly to Antigua from Barbados. I can't fly to Anguilla from Barbados that easily, but I can fly to Atlanta, Miami, Connecticut, Hartford, right? Like, I can fly to New York 5 times a day. Like, how come I can't fly to the British Virgin Islands? Like, why can't I go to Tortola from Barbados? Why do I need to fly to Miami to then come? Like, I can't travel around the Caribbean that easily, right? That's why the ferry that they kind of came up with, that they're saying that they want to be able to use ferry as a means to um transport Caribbean people to and from different islands. But then the MV Barima sunk. I'm kind of like, I ain't getting on no damn ferry out in no Caribbean. I'll tell you that. They ain't gonna get me on no boat. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. Right? That MV Barima sinking caused a lot of crop over events to not even do well. People were like, I ain't getting on no damn boat, because you know Beijing's already be like, yo, them people down there, if I can't swim out in there, I ain't going out in there. The sea ain't got the back door. And like, so when I see the MV Barima go down now, I say, not me, I ain't getting on a ras or ferry. I the Beijing. Beijing people, we funny when it comes to certain thing. I ain't getting on a ferry. You can't get me on a boat. I telling you that. And if I get on a boat, I got my own life jacket and certain thing with my name on it and my own flashlight. If I Imagine being on the MV Barima. The MV Barima sinks 10:30 at night, and then they didn't come till 5:30 in the morning. I would have headlock. I would the Coast Guard would have get whooped if they came for me 6 hours, had me in that damn water. I'm out there evading snakes and all sort of things. You know, the water in Guyana black, right? So then now I'm evading snakes and rats and all kind of thing in the water. And then all of a sudden now you come 6 hours later, I said I'm gonna whoop some ass. Whoop some ass. But yeah. So I do believe that Guyana's gonna leave, Trinidad is gonna leave, and Jamaica's gonna leave, which is gonna cause CARICOM to dissolve. I think Mia's gonna fight hard to try to keep everybody together. Babbzy, you sound like me. I would say the same thing. Not me, I'm a rascal, but not me, not for rascal. Again, not rascal me. Niall, call in here quickly. Let the people hear you. So people, just before I go, there's a new identity on the YouTube streets that is very, very, very interesting. His name is Lalabella Nile. And he is something that I've never seen before in the YouTube streets, like the way that he is. He is very, let me see if I can get him here. Yeah, here, hold on. Call the number on the screen. Yeah, so you know when you're in a dancehall space, which I can't stand, to be honest. Oh my God. People, why did I do Caribbean stuff for? God damn it. Oh Lord. Anyhow, listening to him, I'm like, wait a minute. Why does he sound so intelligent? What's going on here? So anyhow, he started following me. I started following him. And he's been really, really, really good. Babbzy, there's never been any CARICOM unity. It's a pipe dream, just fancy talk from politicians. So back to the so-called West Indies Federation and how that turned out. CARICOM politicians are just jokers, and forget about the fairy talk. It's just that talk, and that sums up CARICOM politicians. Just bark no bite. Yes, Raw Spooner. Raw Spooner is vintage Team Babbzy. There's like all kind of eras of Team Babbzy. Raw Spooner is like vintage Team Babbzy. So he can say he's one of the harsh ones. He'd be like, "Lala." So anyhow, no, so Lalabella, he's Jamaican, and then he loves me a motley, and then he's like, he likes me. So I'm like, whoa. This is good, right? Because I gave up on Grenadians and Jamaicans. I was just like, look, okay, I could be a Caribbean blogger and I could be hated by, let's say, 95. I could be liked by 95% of the people and hated by 5 to 10%. I could be okay with that. I think I think expecting 100% like is not good, right? Yeah, no. Lalabella got a WhatsApp call it. So like, yeah, so I think like expecting 100% compliance is unattainable. And you guys gotta understand too, there wasn't really anybody before me that was a Caribbean blogger that could do certain things and stuff like that. So like, I don't have nobody to like model after. Like, I just kind of created this spot and then just jumped in it. But I do have something to tell you. That's something important that I haven't told anybody yet. So you guys are first to know. So Facebook has categorized me as Caribbean regional intelligence. I don't even know how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Caribbean regional intelligence is my actual niche. So they have me as the statistician data analysis person. All right? Hold on there. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Babbzy. How you doing?
Hey, Lalabella, what's up, man?
Not much at all. Thank you for setting up a failure.
So no, I have to let the people know that there's a person on the streets that's Jamaican that is for unity, that doesn't see island people as insignificant, that is pro Mia, pro Babbzy. So you got to come on the board. You got to come on board because everything else is anti Babbzy. You know what I mean?
Definitely pro Babbzy, pro Mia all the way. You know, Mia is the Caribbean. She represents the future for the Caribbean.
Yes.
So no doubt about it. All love.
So tell me quickly,
And
how do you feel about the
mhm.
move Andrew Holness made in regards to allowing the U.S. military access to Jamaica, the land in Jamaica?
um, as I've said to you before, I don't necessarily think Andrew Hall is just capable of thinking and functioning in a critical regard. He's not a critical thinker.
Right,
Um,
right,
we see what the former prime minister from his very political party, Bruce Golden, is doing.
right.
Bruce Golden is trying to ameliorate all of the damages caused by Andrew Holness.
Okay.
He's trying to get Jamaican people to wake up. Bruce Golden was in Philadelphia talking last week.
Oh yeah, did you go?
No, I wasn't even aware of it, which
Oh,
is crazy. I wasn't even aware that he was going to be in Philadelphia. And he's pretty much saying that Jamaica isn't a sovereign nation functionally because of what the U.S. is asking of Jamaica.
right.
And, Phil Casher always speak about mendicancy and so forth. Uh, Andrew Holness is an archetypal figure for mendicancy.
Mm-hmm.
He when it comes to America, it's just baffling how reflexively receptive he is.
Right,
Because remember, we saw in the first Trump era, right,
right.
what he did against Haiti,
Correct.
um, and Venezuela and so forth. So we understand his mindset, and whenever possible, he will always look to contradict what's best for the Caribbean and CARICOM.
Okay.
And and to your point, he's from the Jamaica Labour Party, the same Jamaica Labour Party of Bustamante.
Mm-hmm.
Who they were always against an expanded Caribbean community.
Mm-hmm.
They've never been receptive. We're talking about Andrew Holness, Edward Siaga, Bustamante, and so forth.
Right, right.
It has never represented their best interests because they would not have the kind of power to wield in the manner that they want to, and that's detrimental for the Caribbean. So to the extent that Jamaica is anti-CARICOM, for all intents and purposes, it's largely the Jamaica Labour Party. Because then we have
Okay.
Michael Manley with the PNP, we have Michael Manley with the PNP,
Mm-hmm.
Portia Simpson, and PJ Patterson. They've done enough, as much as they could, to expand what CARICOM is,
Mm-hmm.
only for it to always be reversed by the Jamaica Labour Party administrations. And Andrew Holness been at the helm for as long as he has. He's the one who committed the most, created, caused the most harm, I guess, is how I should put it.
Right,
But
right, right.
definitely, he's incapable of standing up for Jamaica's sovereignty. He doesn't care to stand up for Jamaica's sovereignty. And if he were to have his way, we'll see Jamaica's GDP expanding, but at the expense of Jamaican people. Jamaican people aren't going to benefit much from what he's doing,
Right.
and that's a sad reality. But
Okay.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong though that Trinidad and Guyana will leave the CARICOM. That wouldn't be good at all.
Yeah, here's the problem with
So I hope.
Trinidad. So Trinidad has a very different dynamic than some of the other nations in the Caribbean. So there's a really Guyana has a similar situation. So in these two nations, it's really not a divide politically more so as it is a divide racially. So it's like an
Right.
Indian versus black type situation in Trinidad, right? So the problem with that is black Trinidadians, right? And I'm not generalizing. I'm just kind of giving you like a dynamic. Not every single black Trinidadian feels like this or every single you understand what I'm saying? I'm just giving you like a general
Right.
understanding of the social dynamics in Trinidad. So black Trinidadians generally see us as their neighbor, their cousin, their right, like their brother, their sister. They see Caribbean people as them as one. where the Indians don't necessarily see us as their neighbors, siblings, cousins type of a thing, right? That's just because of the fact that a lot of the Indians in Trinidad and Guyana are still like Muslim, right? And so there's like this big divide as it pertains to race, and the blacks see themselves like us, and then the Indians don't really see themselves like us. So the idea of Caribbean unity is huge among black Trinidadians, right? Where Indian Trinidadians don't see that whole unity thing because there's not Indians in Barbados, there's not Indians in St. Lucia, there's not Indians in St. Vincent. So they kind of feel more isolated in a sense. So because Kamala is Indian from that background, she like so for her, like when it was carnival, she was like, "Oh, we're not using carnival, we're not doing this, we're cutting out this." And it's like they're not gonna cut out Diwali festivities, right? Because that affects her race. But when it's carnival now, it affects both races, but blacks then don't have another kind of carnival type of event to deal with for the rest of the year. They might have like point 14 day in certain things. But so she's more quick to axe black related events than Indian related events. And so that because Indians don't necessarily see themselves as our brother, sister, neighbor, they they don't view making certain changes in the same light that blacks would view it in.
That makes sense. And can't remember the name of the term, but there's this terminology that speaks to the Indians who are in Guyana, Trinidad, and so forth. They have this similar to Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm.
They have a similar affinity with India, and we saw where Modi was in the Caribbean. Was it last year? And so
Mm-hmm.
forth. I think he went to Jamaica and he went to Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he went to Guyana, but
I think he did actually.
I okay. So they have it's similar to the Dominicans who view Spain as the fatherland or the motherland,
Right.
versus most Caribbean people would point to Africa
Right.
as a motherland and so forth. So I think that's what's going on with truly the Indians in Trinidad and in Guyana. The interesting thing is that probably 20, 30 years ago, a lot of what I learned about Bob Marley came by way of a black Guyanese.
Right.
You know, it's always so fascinating that as Caribbean people, there's so much that we can learn from each other,
Right.
and it's so unfortunate if we would be so myopic to handicap ourselves
Mm-hmm.
by not taking advantage of what the potentials that are offered by CARICOM.
Mm-hmm.
So I get I get where you're coming from. So in Jamaica, it's a political demarcation, and in Trinidad and Guyana, it's racial,
Yes.
and that is unfortunate. And I'm not too sure how you resolve that.
Yeah, it's deep because like even when I was doing the review of the election in Guyana, um, a lot of the Indians were like, "Oh yeah, you're the Babbzy, the African blogger, right?"
Wow.
So then there was this like African blogger, mind you. Like I know I'm African descent, right? So that doesn't bother me. I just kind of confused about the terminology. Like
Right.
they consider me African. They don't consider me Bajan, right? So like hearing that type of terminology was just shocking because most Jamaicans think I'm Trinidadian, right? Everyone else knows where I'm from, pretty much. Except most Jamaicans will be like Babsy's Trini. Um,
Mm.
I don't know if the Bajan trident and the Bajan colors just don't stand out enough, but then they'll refer to me as African. Like they'll be like, "Oh, Babbzy, the African blogger." They know I'm from
Uh,
Barbados and they know that I live in Canada, but they call me African.
that's definitely interesting. I'm wondering if the Jamaicans who deem it to be Trinidadian are these Jamaicans diaspora or Jamaicans in Jamaica?
Well, um, to be honest, there's a drastic difference between Jamaicans in Jamaica and then Jamaicans in the diaspora. I find that Jamaicans in Jamaica Many of them don't know what a Vinci is. Many of them don't know what a Bajan is. Many of them, they don't know anything much about Caribbean culture. Um, and I did
Right.
some digging about that, and I find like so I was surprised to find that a lot of Jamaicans in elementary school do not learn about the Caribbean, right? Like they don't learn about our countries. So that kind of fuels this thing where when they'll do to me like you're irrelevant, no one knows about you. I'm just kind of like, no, we are relevant, you're just uneducated, right? Like because they're not taught about the region. I think there was like a huge brainwashing after Hurricane Gilbert, and I think my reasoning for that goes back to political reasons, right? Like 1980 in Jamaica being one of the worst years in the region for gun violence when it came to an election, right?
Right.
277
Right.
people were murdered during that election. So I think that there's this distancing of all of that what's happened because like you're different. When we talk, we can talk about facts, but a lot of Jamaicans you can't tell them about their dollar depreciating 99.9%. They don't know that, right? Like they don't know that their dollar was a dollar 20 in 1969. Like it was a dollar 20 US. They don't know that. They just heard that their dollar was stronger than the US dollar, but they don't actually know what weakened it like and the journey of the Jamaican dollar. So they just they don't know the history of Jamaica. So that's where I think a lot of my combat comes from. It comes from Jamaicans that don't know their own history. I feel like diaspora Jamaicans kind of are a little bit more understanding because when they come to Canada or when they go to America and they start to see how all these other cultures live, they're like, wait a minute, hold on. So you guys have Emancipation Day too? You know what I mean? And like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. You guys like,
Right.
right? Like you guys eat breadfruit and fish. Like, so they see how similar we are when they leave Jamaica. But I think when they're in Jamaica, like when I'm in Jamaica, I look around. Like one thing I've done as a blogger is when I travel to each island, I look to see other islands' presence there. And you're not going to see much items from the Caribbean on the shelves in Jamaica, right? Where when you go to St. Vincent, you can get Grey Nephew, Appleton, whatever on the shelf. Like I'm going to be very hard pressed to find a bottle of Mount Gay rum in Jamaica, right? They're not going to have that readily available. So there's
Right.
just
So yeah.
yeah. So
Right.
I noticed that we accept everyone, and then they kind of segregate us away.
Right. And so back in the day, right, we were familiar with Dandy Shandy from
Yeah,
Trinidad,
yeah,
and I only learned about Mongay rum here in America.
right,
I implore people to travel because if you go to Barbados, they talk about Bulla. It's not the Bulla in
yeah,
Jamaica,
right,
right?
right.
That's my being facetious and so forth. But definitely I love the Caribbean. I love the idea of a unified Caribbean. And if we go into Sir Hilary Beckles and he speaks about nation building 2.0, he made a cogent argument as to why, contrary to what you said earlier, and we could touch on it later, he speaks to why we've got to coexist.
Right,
It is essential if we want to get to a certain level. Like for example, there's this implied or assumed sovereignty as it relates to Jamaica. However, functionally, based on how you see Andrew Holness operating, there isn't any meaningful sovereignty.
right,
And, that's to the chagrin of Bruce Golan. And this is why, though he's from the same political party, he's lamenting as much as he can, and he's of the view that he'll probably lose his U.S. visa. However, he's of the view that that's perfectly okay, it's justified, given him seeing what's going on, that Jamaica functionally doesn't have any sovereignty. And I truly believe that if we function as one Caribbean unit, our economy would be significantly stronger. Our politics, politically, we'll be able to dictate a lot more, and clearly economically, we also would be able to dictate a whole lot more. And in so doing, we could improve our infrastructure. And to your point, having to fly to Florida so you can go to elsewhere in the Caribbean from one Caribbean location.
right,
If we had the means, we would build these things for ourselves. So as much as we may be able to self-sustain ourselves, where we are now and grow, modestly and so forth, if we truly were to galvanize, function symbiotically, we would be better off. And the culture is it's so vast, it's so dynamic. I mean, there's so much that we can gain from each other. If we think, I mean, you think about Pan Africanism, the stalwarts came from Trinidad. We
Right.
learned so much from them. Dr. Eric Williams, how much he's contributed toward education throughout the Caribbean. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of education, benefited from Michael Manley, who was pro-Caribbean.
Right.
I was able to learn about Garfield Sobers, Sir Garfield Sobers. I
Yeah.
was able to learn about Arrow Root from St. Vincent and all those kind of things. But gone are those days when we're taught these things. But there was a time where we would be taught about the Caribbean. And if you think about in Kingston, right? There's a street named after pretty much every Caribbean
Yeah.
nation.
There's a St. Lucia Street.
Right,
There's a Barbados Street in Kingston.
right,
Like I see all of the
right,
island
right,
names on the streets. I was just like, wait, Barbados Street in Jamaica? What's going on?
right. But it needs to go beyond that. It needs to go beyond just a function of the past. We need to bring that to life in the same way that we've seen, to your point, the benefits of viewing, the benefits of the cricket team.
Mm-hmm.
Again, simply put, if we had a West Indies football team, we would have won countless World Cups, or would have at least been very competitive.
Right. Right. Right.
And imagine how much capital would come to the Caribbean there having a powerful football team.
Right.
We probably would have been able to compete no different than South Africa for the World Cup at some point in time.
Right.
We could have packaged it as for some kind of tourism deal and brain power. I mean, you have Mia in Barbados. I'm
Right.
like, you know what it is to Barbados. Two of the giants right now is Mia and Sir Hillary Beckles. So
Right.
I'm not too sure what's going on over there in Barbados. But
And
I
Babsy's, I'm
would
coming
not.
up. I'm coming up too, man. I'm
And
gonna
of
be.
course,
Yeah, don't forget me.
of course, uh, of course, no doubt about it. And I wouldn't want to be divorced from that. There, there shouldn't be any such enmity that would have us wanting to leave CARICOM for myopic and selfish reasons. And I hope the new generation better understand the value of CARICOM and agitate for us to actually not only sustain CARICOM as it is, but empower it. I mean, meaningful, give it political and meaningful economic powers.
Here's the
And
thing, not to cross you, but I
mhm,
think for a country like Jamaica to be fully on board with a CARICOM, they have to be fully on board with education, right? So it's like I think
right,
CARICOM and
right,
education go hand in hand. So when you don't know the history, when you don't know, what has transpired, and you're being fed like, we're the number one country in the world. All of everyone's music comes from our music. Um, we created this genre, that genre. There's clearly a gap on historical knowledge for the average Jamaican, and there's no desire to fill that gap. And that's where I think, from where I can see, there's an importance, right? Like I could look at a country like Trinidad right now and pull a 15-year-old aside and be like, Calypso Rose. They know who that is. They've heard of Calypso Rose, right? I could pull a 15-year-old
right,
in Barbados aside and they know who Gabby or Red Plastic Bag is. A 15-year-old in Jamaica doesn't know who Eric Donaldson is, right? They may not even know who
right.
Marcia Griffiths is, right? So if you understand, like, so like for the smaller islands, the history's just always in front of them. Where I feel like in a country like Jamaica, the history is, they're trying to distance themselves from their history.
Yep. Ignorance informed self-aggrandizement. We're resting on laurels that we don't have.
Right.
And I was listening to these guys talk the other day, and they were talking about Ninja Man, and they're like, "I've never heard a Ninja Man song." And I'm like, "Huh?"
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right.
I'm like, and these are the people, the loudest people out there,
Yeah.
debating and contradicting
Exactly.
everything.
Where in
It-
in Trinidad, everyone knows who Baron is. They know who Baron is, right? Like he's an old soca art, but they know who that is, and they can name a song from him. So, like I said, I think too, carnival culture. kind of keeps our history alive, especially from a musical standpoint, which is why a 15-year-old would know Baron in Trinidad, but a 15-year-old
Good.
wouldn't necessarily know Ninja Man in Jamaica because there's no like event around the music in Jamaica like that to keep the history of the music alive.
Yeah, we definitely need some kind of pedagogical reform in Jamaica. Even the same, again, Bruce Golden. Uh, for the most part, only like 15% of all of the students in Jamaica who attend school actually matriculate meaningfully. So when you have a country where only 15% of the population are securing meaningful education, and then a good amount of those people then would migrate. Uh, what hopes can you have for any such country as far as understanding things?
Yeah,
They just
UNICEF
wallow in their ignorance.
UNICEF did a study in 2024. So the average Jamaican leaves school with 11.7 years of education, but that 11.7 years on the international scene equates to 7.4 years. So that means the average Jamaican leaves high school with a grade 7 education compared to a country like Canada. So even though they graduated high school, they did 11.7 years, which is 12 years, right? Grade 1 to grade 12, basically. They're walking away with a grade 7 education equivalent. That's the study that
And I guess
UNICEF did.
Rambo, yeah, that's messed up. And they refuse to invest in education.
They can't.
And
Because with the IMF
they,
repayments, you have to cut social services, and education is normally the first to go.
but and that's the thing, right? Now that the ratio for GDP to debt to GDP has gone down significantly. Prime Minister is like he wants to build a new parliament building. And I'm thinking, how is that a priority at this point
Yeah.
to build a new parliament building?
hmm
Um, those proceeds could easily go into education or somewhere else.
But the
So
problem
so
is
it doesn't make any.
educating, having having 2.8 million people educated puts pressure on them. So you have to understand
That is true.
when they
That
come
is true.
forward now, when they start talking about inflation and GDP, the average Jamaican doesn't understand what they're talking about, so they can't get pressed. They just know that every 4 years, these people are going to put on green, these people are going to put on orange, jump in the road with tambourines, get drunk, and vote for them. So they know that they don't have to have any substance in their manifestos. They don't need to have any real belly to what they're doing, because they're never going to really get pressed against like that, because 2.8 million educated people that know what they want a better future, want to see progression, is a danger to an ignorant politician, right? But 2.8 million people that choose to never research things, that just go along with narratives, that don't understand how to do analysis and dig deep dives on information, right? They're protected like that because, like you said, and we talk about this all the time. You'll say, you don't understand why Jamaicans just don't Google and find out something. They'll just repeat something they heard that someone else said and stand down on it and be dead wrong, and not know that it can take the same 30 seconds to Google if this is true or not, right? So like that's just how I was just able just now to be like, here is who owns this port in Jamaica, right? You had somebody on the
Right.
live saying, no, this is a conspiracy. China doesn't own a port. Yes, they do, right? Like there's here, like, so they don't correlate research like the way that regular people do. They stick to the narrative, and so that's why you'll see Bob Marley's daughter come and say, you know, JLP killed my grandfather, tried to kill my grand, like that type of stuff, right? Like both sides tried to kill everybody, right? Like it was both sides that gave guns to people, right? In Jamaica, it wasn't just one side. But when it's the narrative that drives that, then you'll see a JLP person saying PNP people, they are not good with numbers and they don't know how to do whatever. But it's like, but here's evidence right at your fingertips of where the JLP have failed with numbers. So why are you just pointing the finger to one side when right? So they're not able to see things like holistically. They can only see things through the lens of I'm a JLP, so the PMP is wrong, or I'm a PMP and the JLP is wrong.
Right. And the manifesto that you speak of, right, when they make them available, the electorate aren't able to meaningfully read those manifestos even if they wanted to
Correct.
before they're able to decide. They have
Correct.
to decide. So that's another part of the problem.
Correct.
And for whatever it's worth, the citizenry in Jamaica, they seldom if ever complain about how election is done in Jamaica. There isn't meaningful democracy in Jamaica.
They don't know that though.
Uh, they don't, and that's a sad reality.
Right.
And to your point again, not only would people be equipped to better agitate for their rights in Jamaica if they were educated, they wouldn't settle for the paltry jobs of working in
Exactly.
call centers
Exactly.
and so forth. They would demand a whole lot more. The government would have to deliver a whole lot more. And if you look at this whole idea of constitutional reform the other day, if you've read the proposal, it's so offensive.
Oh yeah.
It is so offensive, but guess what? No one is reading it.
I gotta check that out.
No one is reading it. Like for example, when they were asking for when they actually responded to whether or not um, impeachment would make sense, the member of parliament, Marley Malahu Fort, who was in charge of it, pretty much said that impeachment has never really worked elsewhere in the world.
Oh
It's
gosh.
largely been a tool, a political tool, hence it's futile to even suggest implementing that in the Constitution.
Wow.
But before that, she was extolling how they were Jamaicanizing the Constitution and how the approach was superior to everywhere else in the world. If that were true, why aren't they able to apply that to our impeachment?
Oh my
So you
god.
have politicians who have were able to abuse the trust of people and remain in power in perpetuity for the most part,
Correct.
without any necessary impeachment, and that's beyond confounding to me. It doesn't make any sense. But if you read it, you'll be insulted, and you're not even Jamaican.
I'm gonna read it
It's
and then I'll have you come and swing through next week and we gonna pull it apart. We gonna pull it apart.
yeah, we could talk about it because even for example, in this day and age, right, the upper house, which is the Senate, they actually want the Constitution to be written in a way that the party in power gets the majority of the Senate seats,
Right.
right? Which means they're going to have the majority to dictate terms. And then, left to his own devices, the prime minister wants to structure things in a way where the party again in power will be to select the new president, which ought not to be a political office, and so forth. So
Correct.
it is sad, but definitely, if you're up to it, we could definitely read it and reread it and speak about it next week or any of the other concerns in the Caribbean.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, we're gonna do that. But thanks for stopping by today. Good look getting introduced to the crowd or the people so that they know who you are when they see you around. Because Team Babbzy can be very funny sometimes. They don't really like a lot of people around me. When people start to get close, they'll be like, "Who is Lalabella Nile? I don't know him." Like they can be very testy when people get close to me, so I have to give them the soft introductions of the new folks, right? Like they know Rambo, right? So Rambo's okay. They know Kid, but like anybody that kind of gets a little close to me, they kind of be like, "Who's that? What does he want? What's his
Uh,
angle?"
Trust, I'm not going to do anything to risk my access to doubles from Trinidad. I'm straight Caribbean, so
Yes,
I'm not going to do anything to offend wherein I will be admonished and denied access to doubles.
trust
So I'll be
me.
on my best. I'll be on my best behavior.
Trust me. Be good though. We'll talk soon though, okay?
Okay, bye.
All
Talk
right,
to you.
take care.
All right,
Bye.
cool. Bye.
Christina said that's me. Watch it. So listen. Yeah, that was a good Mr. Lalabella Nile. He doesn't have a channel yet. I anticipate that he will have one soon, though. Very very intelligent young person. Love these conversations. Thanks, bless 887. So yeah, like I'm back. I'm just rolling out slowly, trying to just do what I gotta do now that I have my new title and my new niche of Caribbean regional intelligence. I don't know. I feel bossy having like something with intelligence on my name. You know what I mean? Let's listen to some calypso that's gonna be telling us some stories here, right? Because we just talked about some deep things. Let me get a little 1-2 tune going on here. Hold on, day.
Oh, tell me what to do. Please, I am begging you. Oh, tell me what to do. The Caribbean islands were very nice. People call us a paradise. The whole world look at us and admire. The way we programs together.
Who can guess that voice?
For this new breed of politicians, don't know how to run the islands. The people balling out in protest. They have the whole damn place in a mess. As the sun that shine, morning is time to resign. As the sun that shine, PJ is time to resign. As the sun that shine, Compton should have gone long time. And if you heard them on the radio, boys, take your bundles and go. You taking us as a papi show. Go home, go home, go home, go home.
Sparrow, red plastic bag? No. Sparrow, red plastic bag? Gillo.
Go home, leave the job for me.
That is the mighty Gillo from St. Lucia. Song is called Time to Resign. So let me see what I can do here. Play a little 1-2 song before I go. But yeah, so that's Gillo, Time to Resign. Love that song. Love that song. You guys would you Holly, I wouldn't expect you to know that because you from Antigua, so you don't know like Burning Flames and all that. That was a tough one though. If anybody got that, I would be shocked. I would be like, you're a DJ, because that's a hard one. Let's see if I can find a red plastic bag to kind of get the people up and jumping. You guys want to walk up? No, he doesn't. He has a full St. Lucian accent, full blown St. Lucian accent, full blown St. Lucian accent. Let's see. No, these are gonna be. I don't have any political red plastic bag here. Hold on. No political red plastic bag. This is not bag. This is Mac Fingal. Kid, you would have never got that.
Every year you complain about the lyrics, say how they're wrong, how the men strong.
Okay, so what kind of music is this? What kind of music is this?
Say how they copy from somebody. But this year I writing for you so that you can do what you want to do. I listen to my melody and then you can tell me if it copy. Why yo? A ding dong ding a ding it, a ding it, a ding a ding dong ding a ding it, a ding it, a ding a ding dong ding a ding it, a ding it, a ding a ding dong.
Someone in the comments tell me what kind of music this is.
A ding it, a ding a ding dong ding a ding it, a ding it, a ding a ding dong ding a ding it, a ding it, a ding a ding ding dong. What?
She was looking irie.
Nope, not Calypso.
Chatty. She said, listen, Mr. Southman, if you're looking for some action, well, it's me alone in this bed. If you want to dance the next set, come on, she said, rock me, Bootsy, come rock me.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what.
Just got to rock me. Bootsy, come rock me.
Hey, give it. Hey, when I pick you up, you was lively and you was hot. I tell myself this is it. We go party down the place. Now you keep pulling back and you have it in your waist.
This is actually called Kaiso. Kaiso.
Tell me why you don't have the feeling and that is so nice. I wonder what's on your mind. Don't tell me you're going to ruin my night. Tell me why you don't have the feeling and that is so nice. I wonder what's on your mind.
And I feel the rock. I come out to rock my body. I come out to rock my body. The rhythm is right. The action is tight. I am feeling proud to say I really come out to play. I come out to party. Party. I come out to party.
I go speed it up.
A young fella die at the hospital and it causing big bacchanal. Before the young fella pass away, he say with who and who did it play. Big names, popular names, was involved with he playing some funny games. So now the women they had in taking no risk. They insist the hospital show them the names on the list. Look, Trevor name on the list, and Dennis name on the list, Linda name on the list, and Tony name on the list. Well, what is this? Oh, what is this? Mr. Cutting like razor blades. This is the list with the fellas that got the AIDS. This is the list. This is the list. This is the list with the fellas that got the AIDS.
Who got AIDS?
This is the list.
Who got AIDS?
This is the list. This is the list with the fellas that got the AIDS. Woo!
Extra stone to break my bone. Jaja never leave I alone. No,
Things get bad.
all in Trinidad. Jaja never leave us alone. When you get denied, go to the Most High. Yes, Jaja never leave I alone. When life gets rough and it gets so tough, children, Jaja never leave us alone. Why? Tell them, because they never be the spirit of Israel.
Gotta do this one for all the fallen soldiers, all the forefathers. Great Karoo, really miss you, man. Mighty Dragon 2, respect you. This one's for all my people. This festival, whatever you do, please enjoy yourself in the mass, cause you never know, it could be a last, for real, huh? Enjoy yourself in the mass, cause you never know, it could be a last. Give thanks and pray, festival day, raise voices and say, be grateful that for another was a one carnival day. Raise voices and say,
I'm not staying long, you know. You guys will do this to me, you know.
they are gone. Enjoy yourself, free up your mind inside the mass. For real, let yourself go, 'cause you never know, it could be a last. Give thanks and praise when them hands raise and go up in the
I see people dressed in costume, food and drink being consumed, young people walking up, old people jumping up, woman with child in hand, chipping behind a costume bag. I see big truck keep coming down, kicking off heavy sound. Soca is all I hear, right from the start of day. All color, creed and class, moving together, making mass.
What is this man with the skinny on?
So exciting.
That don't sound good.
People just having fun. One big celebration must be a really
Grand occasion.
something's happening that you shouldn't be missing. Dancing along the street, moving to soca beat, and all the women looking sweet.
We're made for each other, can't you see? We are truly connected, baby. Boy, it's you who makes my whole life complete. The only word to describe you there is sweet. You make me rain come down. You make me rain come down. Look out inside, that's still my rain.
It's for all my sexy, intelligent, hard-working brothers.
Only you can make me. I like to see the skies looking so fine. Walking down the street, boy, you look good to me. Whether you're off to work or just climbing, only you can make me dance and sing. Yeah, all of my taxi brothers, construction brothers, and flower brothers, and painter brothers.
Give me the wine, the wickedest wine. Give me the wine in front or behind. Give me the bass, the wickedest bass.
Okay, I'm going faster.
Out in the place. Give me the wine, the wickedest wine. Give me the wine in front or behind. Give me the bass, the wickedest bass. If you're feeling angry, join me in the party. Just him looking sexy, want to wind the body. Make me feel uneasy, the girl them want to entice me. I know that you're ready, let me do it. And let me sing, yo. Give me the wine, the wickedest wine. Give me the wine in front or behind. Give me the place, the wickedest place. Touch up in the place. Give me the wine, the wickedest wine.
So listen, guys, I'm gonna go quickly, but what I'm gonna do is I have been over here doing a lot of stupidness, right? So let me tell you guys. You guys know I'm gonna always give you a crazy mix before I go. This one is extremely crazy. Extremely crazy, okay? So tell me how you feel about this one before I go.
August. Young Money. I swear this is my favorite song. I'm serious.
red light. You know I can't make this thing that official.
Sing, brother.
Believe we had a great night. But I ain't the type to tell you that I miss you. Shit, you don't like that I make this easy. Leaving after sex and all on the floor. Baby, I know you need me like I need you. But I'm not the one you want to love. So just pop a couple bands with a nigga like me.
Too slow.
With a nigga like me.
Come on,
You
boy.
look to them, but ain't no loving me. I hear what you were saying, and girl, it's clear to see. You should just drink a couple drinks with a nigga like me. You'll probably go insane with a nigga like me. Let's just party till we can't. Ain't no loving me, and I'm the one to blame. Ain't no loving me, so don't come looking for love.
I'm stupid.
Don't come looking for love.
I'm being stupid now. Let me mix something in it. Sorry.
Let we take a picture for IG. I go tag you, then you go tag me. We go save the memory up online and post it with a hashtag. I feel alive. Feeling blessed that I could enjoy this good time. No worries or stress on my mind. I feel alive. No regretting whatever happens tonight because my life's up in full flight. We're living it up. I said we're living it up. We're living it up. I said we're living it up. Things really like that. I hear bang, 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 bang guns all day. Tension in the atmosphere. They wouldn't stop looting. They wouldn't stop shooting. Tell me what is happening to the young generation. They're complaining. They've been working. So they're robbing. And they're killing. People running from the stabbing. People ducking. Cause they're tired. I'm the police. I'm the police. I'm the police. Violence will cease.
Becky, this one goes out to Christina from Grenada.
I find out you're moving a little too slow. You get it with music, read out with hot tempo.
coming at the dance. And you walk up ready. But you ain't bring no friends, nor no family. You see the stranger on your left, you see the stranger on your right. Better start to jam up with them, cause we fetting in here tonight and we chanting. Together we drinking, together we whining. One night we pumping, fetting till the morning. Tell me how you feeling. You know why? All away in the carnival, all away in the festival, all away in the bacchanal, all away. Whatever you get, a wine on your bumper. The crowd push up over, we pushing back, Lord. Everybody know get in your zone. Nobody here should whine alone. All of we end up in one place, taking up space. This fete is we home. We don't want no drama, come to upset, be calmer. So while you're jamming, I want to hear you chanting. Everywhere I go, I hear me. Oh yo yo, band flag. Thinking I come jamming the beat. Oh yo yo, band flag. Party and he must come out to play. Oh yo yo, band flag. From Maracas come to Cosile. Oh yo yo, band flag. You go to your passe, me band flag. You got hit me band flag. You got mate me band flag. You got dance me band flag. Bayo band flag. Finqua band flag. Soupe band flag. Côté band flag. Bayo band flag pour danser. Bayo band flag pour souper. Bayo band flag pour couiller. Bayo band flag pour mater. Mi band flag. Mi band flag.
Don't eat and lie down. Don't eat and lie down.
Last night was misery. I eat and I went to bed immediately. You talk about nightmare, tossing and turning everywhere. Food nearly do for me. Food ride me like a drum beat. Let me warn even the underfed. Never eat
2 more
before you
minutes.
go to bed. I beg you don't eat and lie down. Don't eat and lie down. Don't eat and lie down. Don't eat and lie down.
No brought up, no brought up, no brought up, no brought up, see. No brought up, no brought up, we no have no brought up, see. No brought up, no brought up, no brought up, see. No brought up, no brought up, we no have no brought up. Something kill my good behavior dead. I will whine and jump up instead. Doctor do the autopsy and say the cause is the brought up, see. That's why my good behavior dead. I'll throw a sucker in my head and now everyone goes say. No, we don't have no behavior. Them so up for the murder. Boom blast, whoa. We mad, yeah, we mad, yeah, we mad, yeah, Lord. We mad, yeah, we mad, yeah, we mad, yeah. Tell them, we are the maddest. We make the party start. We are the baddest. We make the party start. When I pass the savannah, I press up the bumper. I press up the bumper.
Si bagay la pa ka antwen, nou ka vini fose yi, nou ka vini fose yi, nou ka vini fose. Chebe la ek tou, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi a di hu, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi a di day, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi a di hu, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi, fose yi a di day.
Se la payalo, yo cago en maran.
Se mama la wo, yo ka su cuida da su
And I'm searching for my girl. It's rated season and I'm searching for Sally, my girl.
My God, watch it bubble. That bumper is trouble.
Girl, you looking fine. I wish that bumper was mine.
Make it clap on the double. That wine is a rubble.
Girl, you look so rude. Your bumper have a bad attitude.
Catch up, don't stop. Make your bumper turn up. Turn around and around and around and around, just like the rims on the truck. Bend down, don't stop. Make your bumper turn up. Turn around and around
Yo baye mwen, baye nou e moun jes la ka tou kouta desi ka vi mwen. Tout moun si posi desi. Kouman a don. Gousan, wakwe mwen mol. Mem pou wak o sol. Ouve sa kou pa wan sol. Fe sa bons pou basketball. Ti fom nan fe sa tik 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 upon me son. Tik 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 tick 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 a little faster. Fais ça tick 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 tick. While you sit tick 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 tick. Back when we mall, même pour un sol, ouvre ça pour pas un sol, fais ça pour ce basketball.
Grow some man, pakatan. Grow some, pakatan. Boom, n'importe mon dieu ou l'été, comme just dis moi pour me croiser. Ou ça, moi pas venir là pour jouer, moi just venir pour démonter. N'importe quel taille boda, moi quand t'as quoi pas. Also y'a ou de toi qu'a fait des notes comme si en guitare. Moi just low fessé, à tes fessé, bah moi fessé, à tes fessé, boom. Fessé, à tes fessé, bah moi fessé, à tes fessé, à tes fessé, bah moi fessé, à tes fessé, boom. Fessé, à tes fessé, bah moi fessé, à tes Choco d'idée, mais pour
hey, hey, double M up in here. Hey, hey, we don't party normal. Say we don't party normal. We don't party normal. From we toast down, is a vibe, is a vibe, is a vibe. Anytime we touch down, is a vibe, is a vibe, is a everybody. We don't party normal. Say we don't party normal. We don't party normal. We don't do nothing normal. We don't party normal. Say we don't party normal. We don't party normal. Hey, every girl be a bend now, bend now, bend down, bend now, bend now. Every girl be a bend now, bend now, bend down, bend now, bend now. Every girl be a ding dangale, ding ding dangale. Hey girl, ding dangale, ding ding dangale.
Hustling model, climb up fence, climb up vehicle. Yellow, white, and triple.
You're the bobby ever on the rum.
Mash up, let's just
Cherry down.
Yo, if you tight, you make money run. Hey, I want you to bring that corn and just give me some. You don't see everybody drunk. I hear mama bad on the rum. Mash up, let's just cherry down. Hey, yo, if you tight, you make money run. Bring that corn and just give me some. You don't see everybody drunk. Give them the dirty style of junkin'. Hold on, make me say something. You only how them bad like me when I see bone inside a dumpling. Grab and lift up something. Jump up high like you're junkin'. Can wine and climb on something. Together we can move mountains. What do you never do? Them say we fall down in the sun. What do you never do? Because they can't rock me with my friends. What do you never do? Wash up all the road and all of the sun.
I say let your body move.
In morning, I say let your body move. Soca playing, I say let your body move. Put up your hand if you want walk. Put up your foot if you want jump. Put on your shades if you can look. Put up your wrist and stop. So jump like a trap. Walk up. Stop. You better do it again. I say jump like a trap. Walk up. Stop. You better do it again. Marshall singing. I say let your body move. Square one watching. I say let your body move. Legends posse. I say let your body move. Chinese laundry. I say let your body move. Put up your hand if you want walk. Put up your foot if you want drop. Put on your shades if you can look. When up your waist and go look like a rock. Walk up. Stop. You better do it again. Jump like a trap. Walk up. Stop. You better do it again. Move. You got to let your body move. Papa say let your body move. You have to get in a big groove. Come again. Move. You got to let your body move. Papa say let your body move. You have to get in a big groove.
All right. Gone people. Big up yourself. So here's the new schedule. I'm gonna be going live 4 times a week. I'm gonna put up a post on every time I'm gonna go live, and we'll be able to get back on track. So thank you for getting today coming instead of coming yesterday, because I was supposed to come yesterday, but I was just saying like thunderstorms were crazy. The internet was in and out. I'm just like, it's gonna be a nightmare if I try to go live today. So thank you. Big up everybody. Remember to drop a like on the video. If you can, if you're on Facebook, share this on your page. Cause we got to get back up into the crank, into the grind, and Babbzy's here forever and ever. Amen. Whoever likes it, whoever don't lump it, we ain't care. I gone from about here. Big up Roja, Christina, Colette, everyone that passed through tonight. Kid Chronic, that's my boy for life. Rambo, I see you over there. Lala Bella, thanks for calling in too. We gotta get some of the new people in tune with the fans and stuff like that. So thank you for coming through tonight. Big up everybody that came through on the Facebook page as well. Like I said, it's gonna be available for replay only for 7 days. I think there's some new rule going on Facebook, so I don't know what's going to happen, but thanks for everyone that passed through. I appreciate it. We're trying to get back in the crank now, so thanks. And like I said, Caribbean Regional Intelligence, I got my new niche, I got my new title. Thank you, Facebook. I like you, appreciate you. This week, what was it before I go? I had to tell you what they told me. It was crazy. They said that hold on. They gave me, so when you log into Facebook now and you have a page, they give you a whole bunch of info. So like when I logged in, it says the last time I logged in, it's like, oh, your reach has expanded significantly. This week, over 950,000 new viewers, driven largely by non-followers discovering your content. Hispanic WUC and movementations in Barbados are seeing much higher engagement, but your recent regional statistics, can't see? Oh, open the screen. Your recent regional statistics drive the momentum. Okay. That sounds good. That's why I'm regional intelligence. So thank you, Facebook. Love you. Guys, talk to you. I think I'm going to do a dancehall discourse this week because Massacre, all the drama going on, I'm going to get back into that. And then we're going to have a fantastic Friday on Friday. So love you guys. Stay out of trouble. Be good. Gone later.